And now, Matt Roberts with Go Nation.
It's a big difference between going 0-3 and 1-2 in a weekend. This is going to sound like a Yogi Berra-ism. It's a lot easier to get swept in this league than it is to sweep somebody.
Well, that was head coach Paul Mainieri last weekend after the Tigers took care of business, sweeping away the Georgia Bulldogs. But a week later, they were in a position where they needed to avoid a sweep at the hands of the Florida Gators. LSU scoring just one run in the first two games of their series against Florida, already down 1-0 here when Nelson Maldonado continues his torrid pace on the weekend. A solo shot there to left, and the Gators led 2-0 after 4. We head to the fifth now. Eric Walker in some trouble, down 3-0 already. One run walked home, and Jonathan India adds to that, bringing in two more for the Gators. He pushes the lead out to 5-0. Walker, his shortest outing of the year, going just 4 2/3 innings, allowing 5 runs. Top of the sixth now. Tigers showing some signs of life here. Bases loaded, and Bo Jordan at the plate. Drops that one into right center field and doubles LSU's run production on the weekend with one swing of the bat. LSU back within 3 at 5-2. Gators get a run back and lead 6-2 in the 8th until Josh Smith puts a charge into this baseball. You can forget about that one. A 2-run shot to right. The Tigers claw back within 2. It's now 6-4. Few batters later, one on for Bo Jordan again, and that an absolute no-doubter. The Tigers climb back even with the Gators now tied at 6, 4 RBIs on the day for Bo Jordan. Still batting in the 8th, and Cole Freeman joins the parade. Yes, that Cole Freeman, his first home run of the season, puts the Tigers in front. They trailed by as many as 5, but now led 8-6, adding some insurance runs in the 9th as they get a huge victory in Gainesville this afternoon with a 10-6 come-from-behind win. And the Southern baseball team, a rough weekend on Beale Street, getting swept by the Memphis Tigers, an 11-1 loss on Sunday, doing Southern in. LSU softball had their parade rained on yesterday, forcing a postponement of Game 2 against Georgia to this morning at 11 a.m., part of a doubleheader to close out the series. Allie Walljasper getting the start in the first game this morning and getting some help here in the third. Bases loaded for the senior Bailey Landry. Got that 19-game hitting streak going. Add that to 20 games in a row. That gives the Tigers the 2-0 lead at that point. But Georgia leads the country in batting average. They load the bases here against Walljasper in the 4th, but she ends the threat with a little pop-up. LSU led 2-0 after that. Walljasper lights out all game as she shuts down that Georgia lineup to clinch the series with a 2-0 win. In the second game of the day, the Tigers looking for that all-important SEC sweep, and here in the first, getting a little help from the Bulldogs. As Sydney Springfield at the plate, this chopper eats up Lacey Summerlin. Bailey Landry will come in to score, and the Tigers have the 1-0 lead. With a slim lead, LSU's defense going to work behind Sydney Smith. Constance Quinn, the nice little flip out of the glove there to end the inning. In the 6th now, Amber Surratt, a strong throw here on the chopper. Maybe the play of the day, though, the tying run at third base for Georgia here in the top of the 6th. 2 out. The ball popped high to right field. Bailey Landry selling out into the outfield wall there to record the out and end the threat as the Tigers quiet the nation's best lineup with a 3-game sweep on the weekend, giving up just 3 runs in 3 days.
I think it was a team effort. Like I said, to be able to shut them out was not just based on one person on the mound or, what we called or any of that stuff. It was a total team effort. I think we played solid defense all weekend. I think we really, really prepared defensively for them.
We just really pulled it together and came together, and I think that kind of goes with this past week of our preparation. We were really focused every day this week, and I think that really showed this weekend.
Well, there's been a good bit of frustration over the last few years with the LSU offense under offensive coordinator Cam Cameron. It's been predictable, repetitive, and largely ineffective in some of LSU's biggest games. So much so, Cameron doesn't work at LSU anymore. Enter new offensive coordinator Matt Canada, who's been known to mix things up, run plays out of all kinds of different formations. Yesterday, in their scrimmage, LSU ran the ball 66 times for 391 yards. So the run game isn't going anywhere. It just might look a little different.
We're basically running from a spread offense. It's not very little I, very little pro formation. That's the only difference, but the same. The blocking scheme is very similar. The runs are very similar. There's a lot of carryover from what we used to do.
Now, former LSU quarterback Brandon Harris has said he will play at the University of North Carolina next season. As a graduate transfer, he will be eligible to play right away. And in Elite 8 action today, a couple teams punching their tickets. South Carolina, their first ever trip to the Final Four, joining UNC, who needed a buzzer beater to top Kentucky. Gonzaga also going for the first time. Oregon will be joining them at the Final Four. So a good mix in the Final Four this year. Should be fun.
That's exciting. Like, honestly, I have not been keeping track. It's shame on me. I usually every single year, but.
Well, when our brackets go on the first day, what's the point anymore, right?
All right, thanks, Matt. We will be right back. Stay with us.